This was the PIA's share purchase and sale agreement and shareholders agreement. So the transaction was done, the bidding was done on December 23rd, and after the bidding, we needed some time to have the legal agreements in place because there was lots of conditions and terms which were agreed before the bidders, with the bidders before the bidding. So all of those needed to be incorporated, and between the bidding and today, the bidders had to deposit some more money, earnest money of 3 billion. They had to incorporate an SPV for this. So all of that was done in the last month or so. So today we signed the legal agreements. So now the agreements are signed, but the handover takeover will take 90 more days approximately. For the success, I would say a lot of consultation with various bidders, and we had a lot of learning from the last time when the transaction did not go through. And with the bidders, we had lots of negotiations and discussions, and then we were able to come up with a structure with the terms and conditions which were fair for all parties. There were lots of terms on which we did not agree, and the bidders agreed, and vice versa. So finally, we were able to evolve a structure which suited everybody's needs and on which there was alignment. So I think those conversations, those negotiations, they took a lot of time, but that was the most important part of reaching success, I would say. And that is something that we will need to follow in future transactions also. If we sit in our offices, we come up with a structure and go to the bidders and expect them to bid for it, it won't work. So we have to be realistic. That's on the success part. On the transparency, we made sure that it's a level playing field for everyone. We advertised at EOI. Whoever applied, we did a fair and just technical analysis of the requirements. The requirements we tried to be it was all objective requirements. So somebody would either meet them or not meet them. And then in the bidding process also, we went for open bidding, competitive bidding, auction if more than one bidder was above the reference price. So it was all like we were very conscious that it has to be a level playing field and transparent and competitive process. Lots of conditions. In the beginning, when the bidders applied in response to the expression of interest, they had to meet certain financial conditions in terms of net worth, liquidity, in terms of their business and management experience, banking references, credit lines, so all of those. And afterwards, they had to meet the requirement of putting the bid money before the bidding, then the earnest money. So at every stage, there were lots of requirements that they had to meet. No, actually, the transaction is a big win for the government. In the past, it was a loss. PIA used to lose an average of 50 billion rupees per year. From 2014-15 till 2024, it lost around 650 billion. So the exchequer was paying, the taxpayers were paying those losses. So PIA was in a loss, and that's why PIA had accumulated huge bank debt, which was taken off the books last year. Now the government is not responsible for any loss. Inshallah, there will be no loss. Inshallah, the private sector management will make it more efficient and profitable. Government will be collecting taxes on it, and most importantly, Pakistanis will get better service. There will be direct flights to various routes. Hopefully, it'll be a more safe, secure airline, and it will help the aviation sector and the economy to grow. So, inshallah, in the long term, medium to long term, we will see that this transaction really benefited the nation. I think two things. Number one, it tells the world that, three things rather. It tells the world that Pakistan is serious about privatization, and we mean business. And when we are undertaking a project, we hope to complete it. And going forward, government will continue to sell the loss-making assets and the commercial businesses also. Government will come out of it. I think that's one precedent which is going to help in the future. Second, and very important, I think this transaction has shown to people that the government is ready, and government has the capacity and the will to execute complex transactions. A lot of times, it's complex transactions. A lot of developing countries shy away from them, and we did not. And going forward, I think the biggest challenge we have is the discos, the distribution companies. Those will be very complex transactions. But this transaction has shown that that we will not shy away from complex or difficult transactions. And thirdly, very important, it has shown to the world that the local entrepreneurs believe in Pakistan. There's a lot of talk about money going outside, and I'm sure that's happening. But this transaction has shown that 180 billion rupees will be paid. Today, the winning consortium, Arif Habib Saab, announced on their behalf that they will be buying the 25% green shoe option. So that makes the total investment 180 billion, which is like $650 million total. Around $400 million will go into the entity, and $450 million will go into the entity, and $200 million equivalent will come to the government. So that's a huge investment. So that shows the confidence in Pakistan of the local businessmen. I think that's a huge precedent which is being set for the future transactions. I think the next 90 days before the actual handover takeover takes place, those are very, very critical. We have to take a lot of approvals from various lessors. We have to write to various civil aviation authorities globally, get their consent. So all of that will be done primarily by the government, and some of it will be jointly with the new bidders. So there will be a lot of joint work which will be happening. When I know that the winning consortium, they're already looking for the senior management. Once they have that management on board, then the existing management will have a period in which they will be working together. They will appoint new people on the board once they take over. So we will continue to help them in this transition period, number one. Secondly, after they have taken over, they will need government's support, because there will be global entities with which they would want to deal, and government's involvement as far as conversations, as far as support, as far as helping them and guiding them. So that will be needed from the aviation division in the Defense Ministry, from us, from the Ministry of Finance, from Prime Minister's office, and we have assured them that we are there to help them in this transition. Two things again. First, as far as the economy is concerned, globally, aviation sector plays a very critical role in the GDP growth. So in Pakistan, the contribution of aviation sector is very limited. I think going forward, we will see that the contribution of aviation sector will grow. You will see, inshallah, airports, concessions, and passing on to the private sector. You will see, inshallah, more employment, because right now we only have 18 operational planes. UAE has a total of around 550 operational planes. Turkey is around more than 350 operational planes, 400 I think. So once the fleet size grows, then the overall tourism, the employment, the GDP growth, so the trade, so the cargo business, a lot of business opportunities will be there. So economy should benefit. The second aspect is the service to the Pakistanis. And we want to travel on our own airline because we get direct flights. If the pricing is affordable, if the service is good, we would want to use it. So it will be a huge benefit to the Pakistanis who want to travel all over the world, because we don't have right now planes which can fly to Europe or North America. We're waiting for approvals. Australia, we're not. So all over the world, I think direct flights will help Pakistanis a lot. We'll save time, and time is money. Extremely important. PM was providing oversight, guidance. He was involved in this entire transaction. Besides the PM, the Field Marshal was involved, and he had initial meeting with the businessmen in which he encouraged them that you should look at it, and then they looked at it. The Deputy Prime Minister who also had the Cabinet Committee on Privatization, was involved. He looked at all the various terms and conditions that we negotiated. The Finance Minister was involved. The entire Cabinet Committee on Privatization was involved. So we had engagement from a lot of senior decision makers, and that really helped. It helps us, get clarity, have those discussions, and refine the transaction.